Hey everybody, it's the Dynamite Show. Paul Fontaine, Jeff Hawkins here on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. Not sure if anybody's any of our regulars are here. Oh no, there's Fernando. Hey, nice
Fernando's
to see you,
here
Fernando.
to say,
I missed his comments. Yeah, because the show is still going on as we speak, although it is now Collision, and we are committed to only watching Dynamite. I wasn't quite sure about that Battle Royal because I think it kind of went across two things, so I did watch it. I probably didn't need to, but we'll get to that. And so I want to thank you all for joining us, whoever's live, and for those listening on Thursday morning on the Fight Game Media free audio feed, I want to thank you all as well. And just to let you know ahead of time, and I'll mention this at the end of the show as well. Next week, we are not going to do a show on Christmas Eve, but we will do a show on Boxing Day at, I said 6 Eastern. 4 Mountain,
4 Mountain,
5 Central, and we're going to recap both Dynamite and Collision because I think Collision is airing on Christmas Day. If you don't have time to watch it, that's fine.
We'll see.
The thing is it's the last matches of the Continental Classic, and there's still a lot of matches they have to get in. I think they're all taping them on this weekend, so they're going to air next week.
20 Roddy Strong matches still.
You know what? He's actually lost 3 times, believe it or not. So there's only 2 more. But Orange Cassidy, I think, has only wrestled twice. So he's got, I guess he's wrestling tonight. So that he'll have 2 left after tonight, I think. So I think everybody's got 2 left, I think. Maybe Moxley has 1, I think. But anyways, we'll, that'll all be next week. And then on, I think we haven't quite finalized New Year's Eve yet, but I can tell you we're not doing a show on New Year's Eve. Okay. It'll probably be New Year's Day, I would think, but we'll figure that out. And it'll be our annual half-assed Dynamite review and Hook Awards. So if you're tuning in to hear the Dynamite review, just read a recap. But we'll do our awards too. So we'll tell you what happened on Dynamite, but we're gonna focus more on the awards.
Now a little bit of shop or housekeeping. Do we have the categories for the Hook Awards already,
or we'll are we
trying? Will we ask the audience for some?
No, I'll find last year's show and I'll do the same categories we did last year.
Okay.
So and I may even try to find. I think we did predictions, so I'll try to find our predictions and see how stupid we both are because I can't imagine any of them were right. And that doesn't mean we're stupid.
I think I've said for 3 years, women's blood and guts. So
hey, you got it this year. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. We did have a show, and we will recap it in a bit. But I did want to talk about something, and I'll start this off by how it is AEW related, kind of, and we'll talk a little bit about it because it's what everybody's talking about in wrestling right now, even though it's not really an AEW topic. Okay. So as most of you know, probably all of you, on Saturday night, John Cena wrestled his last match. He retired. Now, on the show, Michael Cole shouted out Taz and JR and said how, he thanked them for being his, partner in calling so many of John Cena's matches. And as you know, both those guys work for AEW, and he didn't have to mention them, and he did. I will also alert you to the fact that when Sting retired, Pat McAfee shouted hthen out and said the great Sting retired, had his last match last night. It was awesome, which I was surprised. But then again, Sting also worked there at one point, and also worked for WCW, which they own the property of. So, it's not. But were you expecting, or did you think? And again, I wouldn't say I was expecting, but I thought maybe. Were you expecting AEW to mention it in any way?
No.
Okay. Do you think they should have?
No. I think I'm okay with them not doing that because John Cena means nothing to AEW, and in fact, most of the fan base doesn't like John Cena. So no.
Do you think that last part's true?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure about it because I think he's pretty well respected. I don't think any other fans would have gotten upset.
I think he's respected, but I also think he represents everything that the fans don't want in AEW. At least
that's a very good point. That's a very good point. and one I didn't really think about. I thought they might, just because he's such a big name in the industry, and it
I
is.
thought, yeah, I mean, I thought maybe, you do a thank you, John Cena type thing or whatever, but I can understand them not doing it too.
Like, even if it was something as simple as, somebody did one of John Cena's moves and they said, oh, some of you fans may recognize that as the move of John Cena, who retired on Saturday night. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors, John. Thanks for the memories, or something like that.
Especially since he does work for
he does.
Max.
Well,
yeah.
does he? Or did that? Oh yeah, Peacemaker, right? Yeah.
Peacemaker, yes.
Yeah. Actually, there was an opportunity they could have shouted out John Cena tonight, and I'll bring it up in one of my recaps because I wrote it down in the thing, and it's not anything you're expecting, I guarantee you.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, again, I wasn't expecting it, but I don't think they needed to, and I'm not upset that they didn't. But I thought it would have been cool if they did. That's all I'll say. I wasn't expecting Cole to shout out, JR and Taz. Especially.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to be so emotional about it and to shout out all those people. Not
well, I was expecting him to be emotional, but not, because it's Michael Cole. But yeah, I also think that WWE is somewhat in the category of, we got our money and we don't even care about these guys anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's a little bit of that. Obviously they're still in competition and they're still going to be cutthroat and everything like that. But the way, I don't know, just a few of the things they've done, I don't think they're terribly concerned about AEW at this point anymore. So, and maybe that might be their downfall, because there are signs that AEW is picking up. I don't, they're never going to even come close to overpassing WWE, but I think they have
pass NXT.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, maybe not in the TV ratings, but I mean,
okay.
And this sounds like an excuse, and it's absolutely not, because I'm the last one that would make that excuse, but there's no way that they're not beating NXT in total viewers. Like, if you count Max, and I mean, I'm not saying that they're doing 1 million or anything like that, but they have to be doing at least 100,000 on Max.
Okay. Yeah. I thought NXT had 200,000 lead on them in the TV.
No, it's closer to 100, and in the demo even, and there's no way they're not killing them in the demo. Because I think most of those people watching on Max are probably in the demo. So,
okay.
Yeah. But, anyways, yeah. So, I again, best wishes to John. He retired. I mean, and in terms of the way it ended, I saw a lot of comparisons to, obviously, to the way the Sting thing ended, and Sting got to win on his way out. John Cena lost on his way out. Fans were not happy about it. But I did think that WWE did a good job of transferring that heat to Gunther.
Yeah.
Because the heat that he got on Monday, I mean, I've never heard that kind of reaction for him, ever.
You know what? A talking point I didn't hear about this, and I think probably played at least a little bit into John Cena's thinking, is that Ric Flair didn't win his last match either. At least the one in WWE.
Right. Yeah.
He went out, losing too. So
Undertaker won his last match.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like the ending. I mean, I'm on Team Brian Alvarez. I think he shouldn't have given up. I think he should have just gone to sleep.
Right. I agree.
Kicking and fighting for every type of thing, but
I agree with Fernando here, who smiles when they're tapping out.
The wink and the nod thing, it's a lot like, you know what I compare it to? Did you ever see the original Anaconda?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, spoiler for everybody. John Voight gets eaten by the big snake and then eventually gets regurgitated and then winks when he does. That's what I viewed it as. But it's almost like saying, ha ha. It was almost like old Carney stuff where it's like, yeah, I suckered you in on the whole never give up stuff for an entire career. And then he's leaving. It's almost like Hulk Hogan lost.
With the Shawn Michaels thing. Yeah.
Well, thinking if he had
Warrior,
I don't believe in God or something like that after saying say your prayers for all those years or something like that, what
was I gonna say? I thought amazingly enough, and I don't even know how I saw this because I'm hardly ever on Twitter unless people tag me. Indy Hartwell had a great tweet, and I thought like this might have been the story that John Cena was trying to tell, and I thought her line could have been used and should have been used by the announcers, and it was, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened."
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, and that might be what Cena was going for. It's like, it is done. You're the better man. I lost, and and go out.
Fernando
Shane?
brings up the Rob McCarran point for me, because that's
This
what I
one?
think exactly Gunther's gonna do. No. The next
Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. Oh,
He's gonna be
clearly.
the-
I mean, they
he's
already
gonna be
set
the
up the
legend
AJ
killer.
thing.
Yeah.
The only thing they missed there was Gunther should have said, "You're next." That would have been perfect.
Okay, what were you about to ask?
I kind of like the end of Shane.
Yeah, Shane, come back, Shane.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Shane,
that was
Shane but yeah, with Shane, he realizes he can't live a domesticated lifestyle, and he needs to ride off into the sunset lest any more bloodshed happen. So yeah, I could see that.
That could also be what's his name? Chickless's character in the Shield.
In the Shield.
Yeah.
Well, remember, Chickless was a bad guy in the Shield, so he can't have a happy ending. It's different for sure.
True. Yeah.
I just want one. I want one wrestling retirement that ends like the Wild Bunch. Now, please let me do that.
There you go. Triple H should become the new Mr. McMahon on television. Fans are chanting, "We want Vince" in the post game. No, you don't. No, you don't.
It becomes like that ending scene in season 5 of The Wire, where everybody becomes another character that used to be in the show. It'll be great.
Oh yeah.
Triple H becomes the new Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, and what does that make?
Braun Breaker becomes the next Cena.
Braun might be the next Triple H. Yeah. You know what's funny is you can see behind me, I think. Yeah, the chair, it's a WrestleMania chair, and there's a picture of Triple H on it because he wrestled Roman at that WrestleMania that I was at.
Oh God!
And when you look at it, it looks like Braun. Like he looks like Braun. He's got the short hair, he's got the goatee, and jacked to the gills. Like he totally looks like Braun in that picture. Anyways. So that was our little, WWE sojourn, but little tangentially AEW related. And then we move ahead to this show. And first thing I want to say, and I thought the wrestling on this show was pretty awesome. Although I can't recall ever seeing a show with such great wrestling where I was completely bored at times during these matches.
I wasn't bored because Mom was watching with me.
And I saw your thing.
Mom had a drink or two, and she goes, "Well, because I have to have a drink to watch this." All right, here we go.
And she called Mercedes' boyfriend the Beast More Toast.
Yes, that's what she thought I said originally.
That is outstanding. That needs to be an indie gimmick now.
More toast? What does that have to do with it? No, it's Mortos, Mom. It's a Mexican. It's a Spanish.
What is Mortos? It's a death, right? It means?
Yes.
They did 10,815 fans tonight, which is, great crowd. I mean, 18,000 seat building, but that's fine. And you could get in for 31 pounds, which I think is about $40. So like fairly cheap tickets. And I have noticed that AEW is lowering their ticket prices in a lot of these places, which is smart. I saw the LA pay-per-view that they're doing. It is Revolution, right? That they're doing in LA.
Are they?
I think so.
And did I miss that announcement? When was this?
I don't know. AEW Revolution.
Are they going back to crypto.com?
I'll tell you in a second. Crypto.com, yeah. The tickets, I believe, started at $25.
Huh.
So
are they already on sale? Oh man.
They are, yeah. Let me look and see if that is.
Might have to see if I can get a suite. Yeah.
Oh, just a moment while we verify you're a real fan. Oh, I'm not a real fan, so I'm clicking out of this. No, but somebody told me it's on the board. The tickets were $25 for not great seats, but apparently there's not bad seats at Crypto. So
No, crypto's great to go.
Yeah,
see
but
so.
they're, you know, like they should do a pretty great crowd if they're selling tickets that cheap. You know, the front row tickets, and obviously were super expensive, but they're always going to be because people will pay the money for it. They also announced they're coming back to Winnipeg on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, and it's not even 50-50 that they'll actually be here on that date because they booked 2 previous shows in Winnipeg, and both times they've changed the date before they actually showed up. So I'm expecting the same thing to happen again. And they're doing AEW Dynasty in Vancouver, which which is I believe the second Canadian location to have a pay-per-view after Toronto. So that our buddy Preet Paul will be happy about that because he lives in Victoria. It's a nice little boat ride over to Vancouver. And they'll do a great crowd there. They may sell out I believe it's the Rogers Center in Vancouver. So but they're not going to do a good crowd here. I'll tell you that, because if you remember the last show, they killed Kenny.
Oh, that's right.
And they did like 8,000. Yeah. They did 8,000 the first time they came in 22. They were just over half that with about 4,500 last time they were here. And that's in a 15,000 seat building. And I would be shocked if they do 3,000 this time. Just a lot of things. It wasn't just that they killed Kenny. It was none of the stars were here. You know, and because they just signed Mercedes and Ospreay, and a lot of people were expecting to see them and they weren't here. And then, you know, and Okada, I don't think was here either. Maybe, no, I don't think he definitely was, because he was part of that Kenny attack. But but people were not happy. And the best match we got was Jericho and Shibata. You know, remember that match where they were throwing hockey pucks at each other?
Oh God, where one like hit him flush in the head or the mouth,
which was a fun match, but I mean, it wasn't like we got any classics or anything. So, so they're back. I don't know if I'm going to go yet. It'll depend if I get free tickets, and even then, they're going to probably have to be good seats. So I may just stay home. So they did a great crowd tonight. Crowd was hot for the whole show. You know, which is great. A lot of times they were not necessarily following along with the action. They just had their own chants that they were doing. They did Collision in Cardiff on Saturday, and that was a great crowd too. And I can't believe we never got we've never heard before Saturday the Bailey song for Speedball. You know, hey, we want, or what's that? How does that go?
It's Hey Baby by Bruce Chanel. So
hey Bailey, I want to know, will you be my guy?
Yeah,
so that's what they were chanting, because he got another big win, and actually he's like right in the mix in this thing, which I don't think anybody expected. I still think it's going to come down to the obvious, but it's the thing is pretty well booked so far. The one big thing that happened on Collision that had to happen, and I predicted it, so pat on the back to me, was Konosuke Takeshita and Claudio went to a draw, which I said had to happen.
Okay. Yeah, but you also get to the fatal flaw of this tournament.
What's that?
As compared to, hey, people who watched Saturday night's main event. Yeah, this tournament's been really well booked. Where's the emotional investment for people in this tournament?
That's tough. I don't know.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Well,
it's like
the problem is the tournament is built around, basically 4 heels.
Right.
Takeshita, Okada.
Most of whom hold other titles.
Fletcher and Moxley are basically the big stories of this tournament.
And Fletcher just lost the TNT, and Moxley basically just lost the world title. So it's like,
right, yeah. So they're all basically aces.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. So of what use is this secondary title to them?
Well, that's the other part of it. That is the thing nobody really wants to talk about, other than me and you, and it maybe 1 or 2 other people. But yeah, it's like the prize for the tournament. I mean, it should absolutely be for a world title. I mean, we had this goofball battle royal tonight, where they're going to have a singles match next week, and the winner of that gets a world title shot. I mean, and in this, you go through a month of tournament matches, which are, really the most grueling matches. I mean, legitimately, and in shoot and kayfabe, in all of wrestling almost.
Yeah,
and the prize is you get a title that might get defended 4 times next year.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I don't know, like, hey, Maria just checked in, and Plethora was there. He's got and John as well from Memphis. Good to see you. And yeah, so yeah, you get this title. So yeah, I mean, I think it is, again, you know, it's the title, I've said, you know, the mythical title of the best tournament wrestler alive, or it's just the prestige of winning this tournament, which Tony Khan is basically trying to present as the North American equivalent of the G1, which in some ways it is. Although the G1 gives you a title shot on the biggest show of the year. So I think that is the one flaw of this tournament, and hopefully they correct it at some point and just give the world title shot at All In to the winner of this tournament.
Yeah, but you could do that, but it's like, okay, so you're going through this grueling 2-month-long tournament, or you can just win a match like MJF did.
Well, yeah, or, you know, win a goofball battle royal. Or, you know, like, or you could be like on NXT where you win a 5-way to get a world title shot, and then you get it on the next show, and then the losers get to wrestle for a match on the big show. I mean, you know, so it's not exclusive to AEW.
No. And yeah, no, you bring up the best point where I'm just like, I just want stuff to make sense. That's it, man. And
well, and the one thing tonight, you know what I think the biggest news from tonight was?
MJF coming back.
That's part of it.
Go for second. What's your biggest news?
MJF is not going to have that ring anymore. Everyone assumed he was going to be in this battle royal and he was going to win, and now they're trying to convince themselves that, oh, the winner is going to wrestle MJF for the ring. No, that's not what they said.
Right.
The winner of the match next week, and I won't spoil it till we get to it, but the winner of the match next week gets the ring. Like, MJF is not going to have his ring anymore. I think that's dumb. I'm sorry. He at the very least should have lost it to somebody.
Well, it also should have been where Mark Briscoe wins it.
Well, too. Absolutely, 100%. Mark Briscoe, or
I think MJF finds a way into this ring match too.
Well, if they do that, well, we'll get to MJF. So much of that bugged me. I actually liked the promo segment. I was surprised you did too, but
wait, you said, yeah. When you wrote me, you say, please tell me you hated that.
Well, because I just wanted, because I was sure you'd have hated it, and so I wasn't. It wasn't that I hated it. I just thought you would.
Okay, I thought. See, that came off as you hated it. I was like, is it okay?
I liked it, but I didn't think you would.
I loved MJF. Mom loved MJF. Mom loved MJF. She's like, great. That's a guy who can command the room. Oh. Is he an actor? Because he just has such great control of the mic, and he knows what he's gonna say, and he's confident. And she was impressed with him. So
your mom would love Cody Rhodes.
I don't think so. I think she'd find Cody corny. I think she's seen Cody Rhodes. As a matter of fact.
Well, let's get to this show. We kicked it off, and I could tell that we were going to get a lot of wrestling in the show tonight because this was taped earlier in the day, and they started without even intros for Jon Moxley and Roderick Strong. And AEW fans love them some Death Rider entrances, so I'm sure some people were pissed they didn't get to see one for Moxley. But they started out, you know, ring, ding, 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 let's go, with the cruiserweight. Did it again. The Continental Classic. And although a lot of these guys are probably cruiserweights.
Although mom's learning. She goes, "Is that the glass guy?" I go, "Yeah, that's the guy who likes to bleed all over the place." Yeah. I
thought he was bleeding at one point here, but he did. I don't think he did. I thought I saw blood on his left ear.
No, because mom would have left the room. She's stuck with it.
But it was Jon Moxley and Roderick Strong. The most surprising stat I've ever heard, I think it came from Renee, was that Mox and Roddy are 2-2 in their previous singles matches. I was like, what? Now, I think one of them might have been a DQ, but still. Was that where Moxley punched the ref, or was that against Kyle O'Reilly? Can't remember.
That was against Kyle, I believe. Oh, okay. I'll give you another random stat. Roddy and Mox, both fans of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Couldn't care less, but
I know. I'm here for random dumb shit. So
there you go. Well, Moxley's from Cincinnati, right? So that makes sense, I guess.
And Roddy's from Ohio, I believe.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I don't know where I thought Roddy was from, but I don't think I ever really thought for 2 seconds about it. So I wrote down that the crowd is very hot. And then my next note is we just hit the 10-minute count, and it's pretty boring because nothing has happened.
much.
Yeah, and then Roddy gave Mox a backbreaker on the steps. Then we got a 5-minute remaining call. Mox hit a midair cutter for 2. Then he hit a pile driver. Roddy kicked out. He went for a rear naked choke. Roddy went to the ropes. Announcers are going on about how much time they think is left, but none of them know, which is kind of a problem. They should probably have a clock on the screen or something. Roddy put on a Boston Crab. The crowd went nuts because every time Moxley gets in a submission, people think he's going to tap, so that's good. Then he changed it because he wasn't getting a tap, and Mox powered out, kicked him out of the ring. Roddy immediately got back in. Mox hit him with a paradigm shift. Couldn't cover him. He was selling his shin. Then he finally covered him, but he only got 2. And then he hit a Death Rider, and he got the win. So he now has 6 points. He's still alive. I believe Takeshita and Claudio are leading this block with 7. But Moxley can still win, but the only way he can win, somebody sent me this scenario, and basically Takeshita has to draw with Orange Cassidy. And then a bunch of other things have to happen, but that's the key. If Takeshita and Orange Cassidy don't go to a draw, then Moxley can't win, but there's a lot of ways he can finish second. And so that's why that Takeshita Claudio thing was it Bandito Claudio? No. Who was it?
Dorada Claudio.
No. Was it?
On
no,
Saturday.
the draw. The draw on Saturday. It's Takeshita and Claudio. The draw on Saturday was Takeshita and Claudio.
Yeah.
So that was key because if either one of those guys had a 1, Moxley can't win. So that and the announcers never once mentioned that. And that was a key part of the story.
Have we totally dismissed the possibility that this tournament is a Moxley redemption arc?
It absolutely could be. I've seen that theory. But it also could be that he could win and then his team turns on him anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, boy, 4 heels going into the finals.
Do you remember that promo they did last week where he said, "You leave me with a sliver of hope," and that's a mistake, and it literally like 2 draws have to happen for him to win, and if that happens,
he pulls the inside straight, and he's in the final 4 with Fletcher,
Okada, and Takeshita. Yeah, and
God, then you can't say that this tournament's been well booked, can you?
Why not?
4 heels in the finals?
Well, you got 4 heels, but at least one of them is about to turn babyface, and probably 2.
And questions about 3 of them as to who's going to turn on who.
Well, after tonight, I think my theory is holding water.
I think your theory is golden. I do.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Actually, we'll get to it fairly quickly. But the one thing was in here, and this bugged the shit out of me because I'm a math guy, and the reason I get into these tournaments is the math. Late in the match.
Really?
Yeah, late in the match.
Hold on. So we don't even have to have wrestling matches. We could just have a tournament and just say it. And then you can just do a bunch of like formulas and shit.
Somebody sent me a thing where they ran simulations of all the matches. They ran 380 simulations and to who would come ahead, believe it or not. And Moxley had the least chance to win, but he had a chance. And then the other 3, like the favorites were all, and then Bailey was the one who I don't think is making the final 4, but he has the best chance based on these simulations. But
by the way, for those of you watching on YouTube, this is Dr. Pepper, Zero, and Jack Daniels, and I'm having a fun time.
That sounds great. But no, what bugged me was Excalibur late in the match says that, he's going over the point structure, and he's like, well, if they go to a draw, each of them get 1 point. And that's how they could both still be alive, but they need a lot of help. And I'm screaming at the TV, you are wrong. If neither one of these guys wins, they're both out. That is a key to this thing. That is a 100% key. One of them had to win.
Paul,
in order to stay alive. I know John says I'm becoming Dave doing the G1. I know.
No, but Paul,
what?
Next time you shout at your television, please have someone record it for me because I just want to watch that.
Okay. I will. I did shout into the Discord.
No, Excalibur, you are wrong. Yeah. Oh, I've done the math here.
So Roddy had 0 points after 3 matches, so he is out, but he can still play spoiler. I think he might beat Claudio. and eliminate Claudio. I think that might make sense for him. And then that might get Moxley in. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll know by Saturday if we check spoilers. Or Sunday, I guess. They're taping the last 2 shows before the pay-per-view on Saturday and Sunday. Eddie Kingston did a quick promo. He says, win or learn, but never lose. He said, I learned last week by tapping out. I feel bad because everyone else that I'm going to have to face from here on in is going to see what I learned. I never stop. I never quit. Thought that was a bit of a dig on John Cena. He says, nothing else in my life but this. Will one loss bother me? No. I learn and I move forward. Maybe I'll see everyone on Collision. And the crowd popped because they knew they were taping Collision tonight.
Mom note wanted to know why he was always scratching and holding his neck like that, but I couldn't tell her. I think she was just nervous, so I told her that, and that seemed to.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's just kind of a nervous tick, you know, and also the heat from the lamps of the thing probably made him a little itchy. I don't know, but this is a pretty good promo. I like this.
Yeah, on the promo, if you compare him to everyone else in wrestling, he's probably like a 6.5 out of 10. On the Eddie scale, it might be like a 3.
6, 7.
Yeah, 6. Then we get Don Callis, and I always skip entrances, but I don't skip Don Callis.
No.
So he says, ladies and gentlemen, from Osaka, Japan, current reigning IWGP champion and the first member of the Don Callison family, ladies and gentlemen, Konosuke Takeshita. And he comes out. Then we get his partner from Bueno country of Mexico, the greatest luchador since Mil Mascaras. Ladies and gentlemen, Epwe Bueno, yo soy Hechicero. And then I'm waiting for
this elicited oh brother from my mom, which was nice. I like that.
That was the desired reaction.
Yes.
So I'm waiting. Okay, what's he gonna say about Okada? And they go to the ring. And Okada gets his own entrance with whatever that chick's name is. Lexi Nair?
Arcady.
Was it Arcady?
Yeah,
okay.
It's Arcady.
So she does the entrance for Okada, and I'm like, very interesting. Don Callis does entrances for Okada and Hechicero, but not Okada. Interesting. Yeah. So we'll see if that plays in anything. Then okay, Omega and the Bucks do their entrances. I skip those. So yeah, I managed to get through the show pretty quickly because there was a lot of entrances tonight.
I was expecting Carry On My Wayward Son, but instead they did the elite, the elite.
Oh, did they? Oh man, I should probably go back and watch that. I love that song. Elite, be the elite. So they had a match. Dave will give this minimum 4 3/4 stars, probably 5, because this was a PWG special. This was, you knew. Okay, the problem with this match is, they're wrestling for $1 million. It's 5 of the best wrestlers in the world, maybe 6 of the best wrestlers in the world. Because they're all great. Like Hechicero is like, the best technical wrestler, one of the top 3 anyways. Okada, Takeshita, Kenny Omega, the Jacksons, who are great in these tag matches. So, they just did everything you would expect they did. But the problem is you knew exactly what the finish was going to be before the match started. They're wrestling for the $1 million. So unless one of these baby faces turns on each other, which there's no way that was going to happen. One of them was going to pin Hechicero, like, obviously, like that was what was going to happen, and that's what did happen. But as we went on, I wrote down some stuff. I did wrote down that Shivani lied during this match, told us that we've had over 300 episodes of Dynamite on TBS. Now, first of all, they started on TNT, which is a minor point, but they also have not been on the air for 6 years, and you would need almost 6 years to get to 300 episodes. So
are you counting Battle of the Belts?
He said Dynamite. So he specifically said episodes of Dynamite on TBS. So whatever. Tony lies a lot. So here's what I wrote down. They did a Terminator dive. Crowd loved it. They went through 2 commercial breaks. Bucks did an awesome comeback spot. They hit a bunch of moves on Takeshita. Nick hit a Canadian Destroyer on Hechicero. the ref wouldn't count for some reason. I don't know why. Probably one of them wasn't legal, and he just decided at this moment, for the only time in his life, to care who was legal. Omega tagged in Okada. Crowd popped like crazy, even though they definitely had wrestled in this match earlier. But this one was, they did the spot where they both dramatically tagged in, and I was expecting a holy shit chant. I don't think we got it, which was surprising. Omega went for the one-winged angel. Okada reversed it, got hit by a super kick from Nick. Matt got hit with a DDT by Hechicero. Takeshita hit a blue thunder bomb on Matt. Kenny hit a V-trigger on Takeshita. Everyone went down. Crowd popped. Okada got up, missed his drop kick on the Bucks. The Bucks went for the Meltzer driver, but then Okada hit a drop kick midair, so that was cool. Takeshita got a wheelbarrow suplex on Matt Jackson. Then he hit a power drive knee. Kenny broke up the pin. Okada almost hit Takeshita with a Rainmaker, and he didn't even look like he looked like he was completely aiming for Takeshita. And then I wrote down, here's Hechicero. I wrote down, played Peacemaker. And I thought, that was the John Cena shout out. So, probably not, but in my mind it was. So then Omega tagged in. Omega hit a Snapdragon on Hechicero, on Takeshita, then on Hechicero, then on Okada. Then all three of them hit super kicks on Hechicero. Omega hit a V-trigger to the back of his head. Then he hit a one-winged angel, which was assisted by a catapult from the Bucks, and he got the pin. And I don't know how long this went, probably like over 20 minutes, and it was nonstop action. It was great, but I was also bored because I knew exactly what the finish was going to be. So Fernando liked my joke.
I liked your joke.
Okay, cool.
Mom notes, I had to spend an inordinate amount of time explaining that not all three of the members of the winning team got $1 million each, that they'd have to split $1 million.
Oh, the other thing was they used to have 3 bags and they only got 1.
Yes. I think the other one was I adored Hechicero's character work in this.
Yes.
He was the glue that made this match go from everything from just literally just doing. And look, he's playing to the back of the room because, he's doing the international language of telegraphing everything he's saying to the people. But him looking between the two of them and just doing the please just get along. And then after the match, even he's still trying to get those two on the same page. That dude is an underrated MVP. I liked the match. I liked the party version of it.
I didn't get to the post match yet. And there was something that really bugged me in the post match, but okay. I don't know if you noticed it. I'm glad you brought that up because Hechicero, him and Takeshita work great together. And Okada and Takeshita did not work great together. And every time they looked like they were about to go to blows, Hechicero got in the middle of it and stopped them. But Okada was not working well with Takeshita either. So that was the key here. And Callis was pretty Switzerland on all this. He didn't really point out anything about anybody.
When Takeshita and Hechicero high-fived each other and gave that look to Okada, who just then went, all right, fine, I'll be part of it. But it seemed like Okada then kind of bought in and then didn't again. It was very subtle and very good. I really liked it.
Now, the problem might be if they dump him, like, what are the bleach? I mean, the problem is like the fans will just, yay, Okada's back, so it won't matter that it doesn't make any sense.
I think you're wrong, though. I think what they really wanted. And I think it's too late now, possibly, but they really wanted the Takeshita babyface run, top tier Takeshita as a world and being the IWGP Tanahashi-like babyface champion, even in AEW for a short time before he got the AEW world title. I think they wanted that. And I
think he's losing that belt.
I know that. And he's going to come back and he's going to probably be the heel in Callis's stable. And all of that goodwill is going to be for naught.
Yeah. And then Okada will be the babyface, which, probably because back with the Elite. Yeah. So after the match, the Callis family all of a sudden all got on the same page. And they're attacking, they're hitting raging fires and rainmakers. And then all of a sudden they stopped working together and started getting a shoving match. Hechicero, as you mentioned, was trying to split it up. And then Kenny Omega shows up with a broom and breaks up the fight between Takeshita and Okada, which I was like, why? Why wouldn't he want these guys to be at each other's throats? That made no, and the crowd went nuts. They loved it because it was the cleaner,
Oh, the
But
cleaner's back.
yeah,
Yay.
but it's like, wait a minute, like why? So that made no sense, and the announcer didn't even try to explain it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was what bugged me there, but
Why do we need an explanation for everything? People who watched New Japan 13 years ago get that.
well, no, I'm not talking about the cleaner. Like, I mean, that was fine. They said the cleaner, I think, but
Yeah,
it
but
was
it made
it was
no
like,
sense
why
that he
would he break
interrupted the
those two
fight.
up?
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
like those are his rivals. Then we got the Hangman Swerve Joe contract signing, and I gotta admit, I was not expecting much from this. And the way it started, I thought I was right, but it got interesting. So they pointed out that no one can get physical, including the people that were there with these guys. So, you had Hobbs. I don't think Shibata was there.
No.
Hook was there. And not Stokely. Nana was there. Hangman doesn't have any friends. And because he's the top babyface. So then Joe talks first, and he says he's gonna walk out AEW champion at World's End, hopes they all make it out in one piece. Then Swerve says he came back for the world championship. I'd be coming after Hangman if he'd retained at Full Gear, but he didn't. After everything we've been through, there's mutual respect in some weird way. On top of that, we've got mutual hatred for this guy. The last time we had a contract signing, Joe, you put me down. You beat me up so bad I had to sign the contract in a pool of my own blood. So I'm glad he reminded us of that. He said, I paid you back by taking away your championship. Now you're making me jump through hoops and obstacles. And I'm like, whoa. This guy came back. He had one match with Josh Alexander, who never beats anybody, and he gets a world title shot. That was a lie. That was a flat out lie by Swerve. But he said, I'm going to swerve stomp the hell out of you, and I'll leave a boot stomp that's uglier than that fake tattoo you had back in 2007. And Joe no-sold that joke, as did I. And he said, this is hard bodies work, so bring your big guns. You bring your army. You can't kill a god with bullets. And I guess at some point, Joe and Swerve both signed this contract while they were both talking, but I didn't notice it. I did see Hangman sign it. Then Hangman's turn to talk. So he said, I got to remind both of you, we were fighting together to free the AEW world title from a briefcase and to end the tyranny and all the bullshit of John Moxley and the Death Riders. Yeah. Joe, had we figured it out before you challenged Moxley, it would have easily been you as world champ, me and you for the world championship. And Swerve, if we had figured out that we needed to fight together before you challenged John Moxley, it could have easily been you. But at All In, when we figured it out and fought together, it was up to me to get the job done, and I did it. And I became the world champion. And I knew that as world champion, that one of each of you would find your way across the ring for me, and I'd give you the opportunity to fight for that world championship. So at Wrestle Dream, you failed against me. You turned to Hobbs, you turned to Shibata, and you turned to Hook. And the crowd booed that. And you got the biggest reaction in this promo so far was for Hook. Joe, you turned into who you fought against. You're worse than the Death Riders on their worst day. The world championship is all you have. You got no respect, no dignity. In the twilight years of your career, I'd hate for you to be remembered as the piece of shit that you are today. And the fans start chanting, piece of shit. And Joe stops him and he's like, if anyone would know about that, it's this godforsaken town. That was good. Then the Hangman's back. He says, as world champion, I knew and I planned on defeating you and defending against everyone who helped me, against Darby Allin, against Will Ospreay. And he had to stop here because the fans started singing for Will. And he said, there would come a time as world champion when once again, I would stand across the ring from you, Swerve. Fans chanted, whose house? Said, you said that you came back to challenge the world champion. And had it not been Joe, it would have been me. I've expected nothing less. I'd have given you the championship match that you deserved. And had you beaten me, I'd have accepted defeat and handed that championship over to you. But that's not the world we live in. At World's End, this will be a three-way match. I can't tell you who's going to leave as world champion, but I can tell you it won't be you, Samoa Joe. You've messed up in making an enemy worse than you know over the two of us. And then he signed, and the lights went out, and the crowd started chanting for MJF. Okay.
All right. Can I put my notes in here before we get into this?
Yeah.
Because I have some mom notes as well.
Okay. I needed to take a breath and take a sip. So
Yes, go ahead. Number one, the best shot of this entire promo was when they mentioned Hook, and both Joe and Hook have the same smirk on their face, and this is the best work Hook has ever done in or out of the ring. Just the dumb, cocky smirk. Loved it. This is bad, Hangman. This is why Hangman had the belt taken off of him. Nobody cares about the exposition. Just tell us how you feel, Hangman, and then you'll get the crowd behind you, and then it'll be awesome. All right? I had to explain to Mom about the burning house in the Swerve Titantron, and Mom has decided that's a bit extreme. The question was, and they still allow him to wrestle there? Oh, yes, Mom.
They still allow him to work there?
Yes, that was pretty much it. She liked Joe's delivery. She thought Hangman was a little long-winded. She was wondering what the hell Nana was doing this whole time with the stupid dance.
386 words.
Mom won't come on the show, but she did have some zingers in there because she's just like, I need a drink to be able to watch this, and she was supposed to say dry this tonight.
Wow.
She's
not a Hangman fan, I guess.
No. Well, she also asked who amongst, I think this was after MJF, who amongst them is the best wrestler? And I go, that's a loaded question, Mom. Are we talking just in the ring or whatever? It's probably Hangman.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, yeah, but he's so long-winded. And I went, yeah, kind of. Joe was the glue that kept this together, because this is still, God, we're back to the love story of Swerve and Hangman, aren't we?
Kind of.
It's just replaying.
But you kind of get the impression that it might be a little one-sided.
Yes, that's what I think it is. I think eventually,
I think Swerve will pull a knife in his back the first chance.
Yes, because he's gonna do because we're getting into stupid babyface Hangman.
Yeah, he'll do whatever it takes, and Hangman may not.
Yeah, and then the awesomeness started.
Yeah. So the crowd, the lights go out, the crowd chants MJF, and he came out and he got a huge pop. His music was playing and the crowd was singing, even though it had no words. They're just singing the tune, and kind of interesting. He had a bit of a new hairdo, looked better, looked more like a star. He had a full beard, sunglasses. Fans are chanting MJF, so he grabs a mic. He asked for his contract, which, as you may remember, and they should have probably reminded us, but I mean, MJF did, so that's fine. But he had won a contract to get a world title shot, and he signs it. And my first comment is, what a moron. Because, I mean, okay, here's the thing. He explained it, but my thought was, well, why wouldn't he just challenge the winner of this at the first Dynamite after Full Gear or after World's End? And, because then he gets a weakened guy, presumably.
When Tony Schiavone announced MJF has signed his contract to join this match and MJF dropped the mic, I went, oh my God, is that it?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to end the segment there.
Oh, no. Well, that's because we just watched Raw where Gunther got his one line in and got out. And it was the best promo I've seen all year. I made him tap like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That was so good. But anyways, so he says, why would a guy like me cash in when I have to face 3 men instead of one? Hell, hi, Seabiscuit. So he said, since the inception, you called me a coward, but unlike you, I'm actually a star. I've been away making movies, and I was festering over this. You called me a coward, and I realized, you know what, Hangy, maybe you're right. The old me, I'd have taken every shortcut to get what I want, but that wouldn't cut you deep, would it? I need to hurt you, cowboy. I can't think of a better way to do it than taking it far away by beating you and two of your biggest rivals in one fell swoop. So, and wait a minute, what the hell? He's like, oh, and I don't know if my comments got missed. Anyway, so because I wrote the next thing I got here is, well, this has been wonderful, and then somebody said, shut your mouth. I think it was. Oh, Joe said shut your mouth, and then MJF or no, Joe says, "Well, this has been wonderful," and Joe said, "Shut your mouth." And then they had a stare off, and then he said, "Well, what's going on, Joe? Sloppy Joe, I think he called him. You upset?
Later,
You're gonna call me a big supervillain soliloquy? When you took that title away from me, these people turned on me, and let's be honest, they did. And as much as it pains me to admit it, they dictate who goes down as an all-time great." And I don't want to go down as an all-time great. I need to. So you're mad that these people question my abilities? Mine? Well, guess what? Your luck has run out, Sloppy Joe. Oh, this is where he said Sloppy Joe. Fans chant Sloppy Joe. He said, "See, Joe, I'm about to make you fall back harder than your hairline. World's End, look at me. The same place you ended my title reign, I end yours." And then Swerve says, "Gluteus Maximus, if there's anyone you need to be afraid of, it's me." And then MJF turns around and he says, "You know what, Fireball Shane? You remind me of this famous musician. You're both moguls. You both like chains. You both have way too much baby oil, and you're both dog shit rappers. His name's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, yeah, P. Diddy." Whoa. And,
got my mom, too. Mom went, "Oh."
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, hey, hey." And the fans chant for Diddy. And he says, "Pop quiz class, whose house?" Let's talk about that, shall we? You know him as Swerve. Well, since I was 18 years old and we were grinding it out, I've known you as Shane. I went my way to AEW, where I became the biggest homegrown star in the history of his company. And as he says that, he gets in Hangman's face. And he says, "And you went to WWE." The fans chanted. They booed, actually. And MJF says, "Take it easy. It's a perfectly good company, gang." And he says, you've run there. Not so great. However, I must say that I thoroughly enjoyed watching you twerk for top dollar. But you came across the street and you knocked on my door. You achieved incredible stuff. You became a tag team champion. You beat Sloppy Joe over there for that world title. You held it for a whopping 126 days. 406 for me, but who's counting? But listen, Shane, we got a problem. Because you're in my way. You're biting the hand that feeds you. You're Swerve stomping around like you own the place. You've been a messy tenant. This isn't your house. This is my house. The rent is due and the devil has come to collect. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael Corleone. In one night, I'm about to handle all my family business. At World's End, I get back what is rightfully mine, my Triple B, my AEW World Champion, and to all you folks happen to know why, it's because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you. And the fans finished his catchphrase for him, and he tossed the mic. And he owned the room. I mean, everyone else just stood there while he talked for the most part. And I liked it. I just didn't think you would, because I thought you'd think it was too inside.
No, because he commanded the room and somebody needed to, and Joe wasn't allowed to do enough to do it. I thought this one sold that pay-per-view. I thought this was a money promo from MJF. I thought this was absolute bring people into the building. Both Swerve and Hangman got caught corpsing by the camera.
Oh.
Swerve when he called him a dog shit rapper, I believe, and then Hangman when he said he was the best homegrown star in AEW, and Hangman just couldn't help himself. MJF impressed the hell out of my mom, as I said before. She goes, "Wow, that guy's really good and knows how to." Is he an actor? Because he really knows how to command his voice and take control of the stage. It's like, yeah, well, he was in that Happy Gilmore sequel that you watched, Mom. Yes. Boy, I want MJF and Joe on the mic one-on-one, because Swerve, I don't know what it is about Swerve. I know Swerve can cut a good promo. It's just, I think it's the too cool for school thing sometimes with him, where he just doesn't want to get into it. And I don't know what it is, but I'm waiting for him. Hangman, we said what he needs for a good promo. He needs to start in the middle of his emotion or whatever and just say how he feels. This is bad, Hangman. This is exposition WWE Peppermint promo, Hangman. But MJF is so money, it didn't matter. I'd belt him at this pay-per-view, no questions asked.
I agree, and I think it's poetic if he was to win the title here. Having lost it to Joe at World's End. It's also in New Jersey, where he should be pretty over. He might be the number one babyface in the thing.
Is World's End in New Jersey or Chicago?
I thought it was New Jersey, but maybe it is Chicago. Well, if it's
Chicago,
if it's Chicago, it's probably going to be Joe that they like. Yeah, I think you might be right. World's End 2025. Yeah, you're right. Chicago. My bad.
Yes.
And I said the thing about, okay, he should have done this, but by the time this promo was over, I kind of felt the same way as you, that that he sold this pay-per-view, and he's like, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference to the amount of pay-per-view buys the show does or the amount of tickets it sells. But I do think that it's made me a lot more interested in the match. And I'm more interested in a 4-way than I would be with the 3-way, which I would not have expected going in.
Because my thought was, as soon as they made this a 3-way again, that hat didn't fit. I was so disappointed. So good looking. It's my mom's turquoise hat, cowboy hat. Or Stetson, my fault. I thought they were going to replay the last 3-way.
Yeah.
And have the other guy tap
Hangman.
out Joe that time. Yeah, Hangman tap out Joe.
Yeah, because they did this exact thing. They did Dynasty last year. 2024.
And I thought it was just going to be, okay, we're just retconning everything, going back to step 1, but having the other guy win the 3-way, and what would happen then. But now MJF, he's made me excited for this.
And
now
the funny thing was,
to win, but it's going to be fine.
I wish they would have done the Battle Royal before this.
Yes.
Because, I mean, when this was over, I'm thinking, okay, well, MJF's going to win the ring, and then he's got 2 world title shots now? Like, I didn't even... It didn't even hit me until halfway through the Battle Royal that MJF wasn't going to be winning this ring again. Like, I think that was something that everyone just assumed. And the funny thing was, everyone was expecting him back on this show, not to go into this 3-way, but because of the Dynamite Battle Royal. Like, there wasn't a single person watching who didn't think that MJF was going to be in that Battle Royal.
Right.
To the point where there's still people that think that he's just going to insert himself into the match. Or did you even say that earlier?
I said that. I said I think I could see it being a 3-way with MJF.
But I don't think so, because that really doesn't make any sense with this new direction that MJF's character is taking. Like, and not to mention the fact that
it doesn't. But yeah.
And they also have clearly stated the rules, which, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that they changed the midstream. So, like, it wouldn't shock me to see Bandito win the match, and then MJF comes out with the ring and he says, well, great job, you won this, now you got to beat me. Yeah,
and it's one of these ridiculous things where they just didn't have faith in keeping the story going.
Yeah.
Where it's like MJF continues to find a way to win this ring and means so much to him, until the guy that never beat him in Mark Briscoe wins it. It was just one of those stories that was just perfect. And
I buried the lead tonight, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah. For only those watching on video will know this, but look at my video. Look at my name, and then what does it say right beside it?
Paul Fontaine doesn't say anything. Oh, All Elite. Oh, jeez.
Hey, I'm All Elite, baby.
Yeah, you're wearing the shirt of the band at the concert. Congratulations.
Yeah. No, Paul Fontaine is All Elite. I should have put "is" after it.
Yes.
So that we got a 4-way. Now, the absolute dumbest decision that Tony Khan has made all year. And I'm sure if we wanted to, we could come up with some, and maybe they were even dumber, but recency bias. The dumbest decision that he made was, after that promo segment, the very next thing we saw was Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight doing a promo backstage, trying to hype up their 2 matches that they have this coming Saturday. This was NXT level up bad. Like, this was so bad. I can't even. Yeah. Kevin Knight, you look at him and he looks like he should have so much charisma. This promo looked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
when everybody goes, oh man, Kevin Knight's going to be a big star in AEW. I go, can he talk? Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, no, this confused both members of the Hawkins family watching this. Because I had to explain to my mom that they were tag team partners and friends, but yes, they're in a tournament and they fought each other.
Oh, she couldn't tell they were friends?
No. Well, she was wondering why he came out to interrupt Speedball Mike Bailey's promo. And I said, well, they're
you
actually
last week, my good friend. And now on Saturday, I'm going to wrestle Jack Perry, and it's going to be great. Yeah. And I got Okada.
You said that with all the thrill of like Charlie Brown and the Charlie Brown Halloween special. I got a rock.
Yeah. Like this poor dude. Like, there's no way I'm beating this guy.
The charismatic enigma, Kevin Knight. Good God, this is bad. He needs reps. People need him reps. Everybody here needs reps. Just turn Collision into a promo and squash match show, for God's sake.
Now, I think perhaps Max might have gone a little long.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, because our next match was Mercedes Moné.
Hold on. We need to alert the media. Then AEW segment went long.
Okay. Film at 11. So yeah, it was Mercedes Moné, and they had done a promo. They had done a segment on Collision where it seemed like the Timeless Live Bombs were trying to challenge Babes of Wrath to a tag team title match, but it ended up somehow becoming Mercedes Moné interrupting, and then she wanted to fight, and then they said, well, there's 4 of us and 1 of you, and she says, well, I got 3 partners that'll join me on Wednesday, and she didn't say who they were. So these are 3 mystery partners that she just happened to find, and they just happened to be 3 other people that were in the tag team tournament we just had. So it was her, it was Athena, and Megan and Marina were her partners. And Marina continues to exist on 2 different planes in AEW because when she's with Megan, she's not a Death Rider, it seems. Yeah, so they had a match, and basically they didn't even go through a commercial, which is unusual for a match with this many people and this many stars in it. And so they just went. This was kind of like, this reminded me of the AJ Styles match from Saturday, where they just got all their shit in. You know, it's like, oh, you had a 12-minute match worked out. Sorry, you got 5. So, you know, do everything you were planning to do, but do it quicker. And that's what they did. And it actually, like, it was pretty good, like, for the time they had, but it just, they didn't have much time, and they didn't mess anything up because they're all good. Well, most of them, 7 of them, 6, 5 and a half are good. So so Tony knocks Spear to the floor with a hip attack. That started a thing where everybody was doing dives to the outside, and the last one was Athena doing a dive onto everyone. Then Willow did a dive onto Bane on the outside. Then she threw Mercedes back in the ring, and she was about to hit Willow was about to hit a move, but then Athena hit the O-face, and Mercedes just pinned her. And it was really shocking because it felt like we were about to get into a stretch where you're going to have like 6 kickouts in a row and everyone's going to go nuts. And it was like the first time anybody tried for a pin, they got the win. And, it's a good win for Athena, but I kind of thought this was going to set up a challenger for Mercedes maybe, and didn't. So that's too bad. Like I actually expected Willow to pin Mercedes here, and maybe
I did too. And
title match.
I had run to get a beverage in the kitchen, and I thought Willow had pinned Mercedes. So I was like, okay, that's. And then they announced it. Mom was deep in the iPad on this one, so she didn't really care about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
She doesn't like Tony Storm.
I don't blame her. They actually went 9 minutes. I'm surprised. It didn't feel that long. I liked it though. Like it was a good match.
It's good to give Athena a bit more shine, going off of Fernanda's comment here after she lost so much in that tag match. So yeah, I'm here for that too.
I probably should have given it a higher rating, honestly. Yeah, very good win for Athena. The only problem is, like, what does it do for her? She's the ROH champion, and it's not like
sets up a title match for Athena and Willow.
I don't know about that. What? So Athena pins Willow, and that's what
I don't know. It's whatever.
Then we got what I assumed was the main event of Dynamite, but I was wrong. In fact, like, not only did I assume it, because during this match, they went over what was going to be on Collision, and they mentioned a match that turned out was on Dynamite. So Anyways, it was PAC versus Kyle Fletcher, and going in, Kyle Fletcher's got 6 points. He's tied for the lead. PAC only had 3, and he is only ahead of Jack Perry at this point, who has 0. And then they pointed out I guess they'd mentioned it earlier in that promo, but I mean, nobody, including the guys involved, probably paid attention to what was happening. So Okada versus Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey versus Jack Perry on Saturday on Collision. So they wrestled through a break. PAC hit an Ohari moonsault on Kyle. He hit a Tiger suplex, and they did the 10-minute count. They also noted that later on tonight, we're going to get FTR and the Bang Bang Gang, also Dorada versus Orange Cassidy, and the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. So PAC had the brutalizer on Fletcher, and he's about to pass out. And this was so cool. And this, like, Kyle Fletcher is so good because he's about to pass out, and the announcers noted that his legs were pretty close to the ropes and he could grab them. And the way he actually did pass out, but in the thing of passing out, his legs straightened and he hit the ropes. And the way it came off was like he didn't even realize that he passed out. So I thought that was amazing the way he did that. Laurent, I'll get to your question after we finish recapping this match. It's a good one, actually. So that was great. So then where are we here? So PAC took his head off with a lariat. Then he was going to go for a dive off the top. Kyle knocked him off, hit a kick to the jaw in the corner, hit a sheer drop brainbuster, which got a great near fall. PAC kicked out at the very last moment. Tony's going ape shit for PAC, and the fans are chanting, "He's our bastard." And then Fletcher put him on the top. He's going to go for a superplex, but PAC kneed him in the head. Then he hit elbows to the head, headbutt, got behind him and hit a poison rana from the top. Excalibur called it an avalanche reverse hurricane rana. Then he went up and to the top rope, hit the black arrow and got the pin. And I was shocked because, like, up until this point, like, you know, everything had gone pretty much according to plan. And I was expecting Fletcher to go undefeated the rest of the way. And now there's like a 4-way tie at the top, of this block with Kyle Fletcher, PAC, Speedball, and Kazuchika Okada. So really anybody could win. And it's basically like New Japan booking there. So really, really good match. Kyle Fletcher is that guy's got to be world champion next year. He has to.
I like that he got the win over Okada or got the win over Fletcher after losing to Okada. I thought that was clever of them. Mom really admired the gymnastics of PAC and Fletcher. She can't take poison ranas and power bombs because she just thinks they hurt their spine every time they hit on like the big power.
What did she think of that finisher move? Did she say anything?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like that's
I hope he's not hurt.
Oh,
I'm talking about Fletcher.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, the way, like, I can't believe a guy that size does that move. Like,
yeah, she was more worried about Fletcher taking the move but she was impressed with PAC doing the move. But she's more like, how do they take that and not get hurt? I go, Mom, it's like football. You have to kind of develop a callus on your skin type of thing.
And it's all about how you land too.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, you can't really control it. But no, PAC, I don't like the clothesline necessarily, but I get why he does it. Yeah. But I really like this match a lot. Yeah, no, this is great. She remembered Fletcher also. He's the guy with the weird sunglasses. Yes, Mom, because she notices the pink. Oh, he's wearing pink, is he?
He is, man, that guy is so good. That guy is so good. So Laurent has a question for us.
Yes, and this is an easy answer.
What was the high point for the AEW's women's division in 2025?
Tony Mariah, Revolution.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. The Hollywood ending match. The whole feud, really, but the Hollywood ending match, yeah. Close second would be Blood and Guts. That was pretty good. That was really good.
No, that was my original thought. Then I asked myself, did Mariah and Tony happen in 2025 or 2024? Because I was trying to remember. Mariah being kind of in the news this week.
Has anybody's star fallen further in the last 6 months?
I think I am tired of hearing that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I am. I think she's much better off in WWE.
In the long run, she might be, but I'm just saying, like,
I even say now.
Really?
Because right
Okay.
now she'd be an afterthought in all this for the most part. She'd be like mid-tier fighting with Hayter at
You don't
some
think she'd
point.
have the world title? You don't think she'd be
No.
what Statlander is right now?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, if that's what you think,
I think they would have had to cool her down a bit. And
she
it's
would have
like,
had to
look,
have been in Blood and Guts for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So
But she wouldn't have been the main focus of Blood and Guts for the
probably
most
wouldn't
part.
have been in the tag team tournament because her character wouldn't make sense to team with anybody.
No, unless she was the one to fill in for Penelope Ford.
Yeah, her and Megan, that'd actually be a good team.
Yeah, I could see God, that'd be a phenomenal team.
Yeah. The Glamazons. Probably can't use that.
Glamasus.
Yeah, Glamasis. There you go. Then we got the Dynamite Battle Royal, which again, I had told you that we would stay till the end of the main event, and then I didn't know if this was technically the main event or if it was PAC and Fletcher, but I stuck through the Dynamite Battle Royal. There wasn't much. They kind of started in progress because they came out of a break and people are doing entrances and there's fighting going on, and I didn't hear a bell ring, but so Demand are making their entrance. They attacked Bandito and Brody on the way to the ring. As soon as I saw Bandito and Brody in there, I thought, okay, those two are going to be the last two, and we're going to get a match next week, Bandito and Brody, for the world title shot. I thought that would have been perfect, but nope, it's not what we got. Bowens and Caster were in the ring. Ace Austin dived onto them to the outside, running to everybody. And I got the people in it. Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, Josh Alexander, Mark Davis, Ace Austin, Luchasaurus, Shelton Benjamin, Toa Leone, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, Brodito, Brody King and Bandito. So Bowens and Caster, I should note, working together just fine. They did their Shiver Me Timbers move, and then they're about to do scissoring, just like, hey, yeah, we're best friends again. I missed a month of TV, I guess. But then Ricochet dumped Caster, and that was it for them. And people booed that elimination. And it was hard to keep up with what was going on because people were constantly leaving the ring, just going through this, second ropes or under the bottom rope or whatever. So there's never more than 2 or 3 people in the ring, and they were just doing spots left, right, and center.
You know what? AEW needs to work on its shots when there are people who are outside of the ring, because in that 6-man earlier tonight, towards the end, you just see Okada and Takeshita and a couple other people just kind of standing there watching.
I saw this in the gauntlet match it was so bad.
And they either have to be in character where they're where they're like almost pretending that they're going to go back in and they're looking for that time, or they need to be out of it and kind of peeking up, because
hiding somewhere.
Otherwise it makes it look bad, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it wasn't so much that, because the guys on the outside were doing stuff. It's just that they were not. Yeah, they just kept leaving. And so
this is just a note I had in the back.
Yeah. So I wrote Mark Davis threw out Bowens with help from Ricochet. They went to a break. When they came back, I guess Austin had been eliminated probably during the break. And they pointed out that the Dynamite Diamond Ring final is next week, so it'll be the last 2 in. Josh Alexander was eliminated, and I was looking and thinking, oh, maybe he's going to win, and then right away he gets eliminated. And then they noted that we are down to the Demand, which is Ricochet and Gates of Agony against Brodito and Bandito. So at some point, Mark Davis and Shelton Benjamin were gone. I don't know how. I didn't see it happen. Brody eliminated himself and Toa Leone with a clothesline. So then we're down to Bishop Khan and Ricochet and Bandito. And then Bishop Khan and Bandito fought against the ropes. Bandito tossed them over. So next week it's Bandito and Ricochet for the ring, which they called champion versus champion, because Ricochet is the national champion and Bandito is the ROH world champion. So that was that. So yeah, Ricochet and Bandito for a world title shot next week. I gotta think Bandito wins, but who knows? Bandito probably best chance of having a banger, but I suppose Ricochet could win.
That feels like what they're gonna go for is the banger.
Yeah. They were heavily pushing on the ROH.
With MJF though? That's the weird thing here. Does MJF need a banger? Kind of?
No, but I think he probably want to have one.
Right.
I mean, MJF Bandito is infinitely more interesting than MJF versus Ricochet, in my opinion. Yeah. So yeah, weird. Or maybe MJF gets involved somehow and ends up getting the ring. I don't know. He's like I say, he just shows up at the end and says, "Wait a minute, you didn't win nothing. I got the ring. You can't have the ring till you beat me." They could totally see that. Actually, yeah. So yeah, and it's next week, which is on Christmas Eve. On what are they calling next week? I don't even remember. Is it Dynamite on 34th Street or something?
You're asking me to keep in touch with all these names that they put? No, I have no idea. I was going to say Holiday Bash, but that was this one.
That was this one. Christmas. Oh yeah, Dynamite on 34th Street. That's actually
there
what it's
you
called.
go. Look at you nailing it.
And Collision is Christmas Collision. Then the week after we have New Year's Smash. Then January 7th is just Dynamite. So I guess we can skip that. And then January 14th is Maximum Carnage. I think we've had like a special name for like every show other than that.
Yes.
Or January 7th show.
Stop it.
Which is 2 days after the Raw premiere on Netflix. So that show's going to die. So yeah, that was Dynamite. And did you happen to notice anything like, not that I want spoilers, but did you happen to notice anything interesting happen on Collision?
Nah, what you expect to happen happened for the most part to me.
Okay.
I didn't really.
I think somebody said Orange Cassidy won.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. I think he's.
I believe NFTR won. I believe. I don't believe they lost.
Oh, really? So. Wow, shocking. Against Juice and Austin, that's okay because Juice still has his $200,000. So
yeah,
he's in he's in the money. There's that trademark. All right, so that is Dynamite. I guess we can wrap it up. We 77 minutes. That's good stuff. So what do you got?
I don't know. Okay. Rob is traveling.
Okay.
So I'll see if he has time to tape Shake Them Ropes this week. If not, I'll either go solo, but I've also promised someone when you did it that he'd be next. So I'm going to check with that guy too. So
okay.
I have no real plug, but I'm going to have some audio out later this week in the Shake Them Ropes feed. Follow me at Crap Game 13 for more comments on what Mom said during wrestling. The Beast more toast. Oh my God, I'm still cracking up over that. But and
is that nice young Jewish boy an actor?
Merry Christmas / Happy Holidays to all of you. Since this will be the show we record.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we won't be seeing everybody again until after Christmas. I believe before we meet again, I don't think I'm going to have anything else because I think Garrett and I'm probably taking next week off of the takedown because we probably aren't going to have anything to talk about. There's really not much going on this week. So yeah, I may do a show with David Lovell on Boxing Day, which is December 26th, for those of you not in Canada or the UK, where we usually do some sort of theme where we do UK and Canadian artists. So I'll post the link to that on my Twitter if anybody wants to listen to it. It's usually pretty fun. So, and then Jeff and I'll be back on December 26th. So for Jeff Hawkins, I've been Paul Fontaine, and this has been the Dynamite Show.